Welcome to Portfolio Builders Club. Going to take a look at the market. Tariffs are coming in this week, coming in hot. Looks like the market might go off the rails. Let's take a look. Looking at QQQ. Currently here, we were experiencing a nice uptrend. And typically when we bounced into the 200-day moving average, we would have a move to the upside after that. Here lately, we've hit that 200-day moving average and actually started trending below the 200-day average. We dropped below, went back into the 200-day moving average, and now we've dropped down again. So the anticipation this week, because of tariffs coming out, is that we will get a lot of market volatility depending on if these tariffs stick or not. But the initial response to tariffs we anticipate will be a drop in the market. So we could expect some limit downs as the week progresses if these tariffs truly go into effect. So just be prepared. Let's take a look at the Magnificent Seven and a few others. Take a look at Apple. So Apple went down below the 200-day moving average, did make that move back up. The 25-day moving average, which is this red line, is now about to cross the blue line, which is the 200-day moving average. And we got to move to the downside, and look like pre-market's going to be down as well. So looking at this definitely looking more like it's, again, going to the downside for now. We'll see what happens with tariffs. So just expect anything can happen here. Same thing with Amazon. We look like we were about to make a recovery, but now we've sort of got smacked back down into the 200-day moving average. We'll continue to monitor that to see where it goes. Take a look at Google. Google, definitely to the downside. We did get this break of this up trend line that we had. It was a third touch of that trend line some time back. Now we've come down and broken down below that. So we're looking at downside from here. So we'll have to see how far that ends up dropping. That's Google. Meta has similar impacts. You could see that it was a lot stronger of a uptrend, staying above the 200-day moving average. Now we've tapped into that 200-day moving average a couple times here, but not been able to get or maintain above the 25-day or the 100-day moving average. So we're looking at downward side movement currently. Let's take a look at Microsoft. Microsoft, same. Very much even lower than most others positions. We were typically bouncing off of this 200-day moving average. We've completely broken down as far as that's concerned for Microsoft. So things are definitely moving to the downside for Microsoft as we look at that. So continue to monitor that this week. MicroStrategy. So this is tied to Bitcoin, and we've seen some drops and twists in the price of Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin may react differently to the economy, so we'll have to really monitor Bitcoin and make sure of which direction it's going to go in. But MicroStrategy is going to be impacted by that, and MicroStrategy is going to be impacted by just the overall market sentiment. So again, we're looking at a lot of market drops. We could end up getting some halts today, so and throughout the week. So we'll have to continue to monitor that as people try to lighten up their exposure during this uncertain time. Netflix is not looking too bad. It's actually above the 200-day moving average. We were expecting just positive movement from here. Again, the tariffs and the threat of tariffs is going to impact all market positions. So we'll have to continue to monitor this, but Netflix doesn't look as bad as some of the others. It could bounce off of the 100-day moving average and then maybe continue back up to the upside, but we'll have to see how things go for Netflix. But out of the many we've looked at so far, Netflix is still sort of maintaining that uptrend. It is having a negative impact right now, but we'll have to monitor if it drops below the 100 or even gets down to this 200, then yeah, things will sort of change as far as our outlook. NVIDIA, same thing, has been trending to the downside, never really recovered to make it to our final targets up here. It just has been on a down slope. Even if we look at this trend line here, you can see that the price is maintaining below that. Even if we do another trend line at the bottom here, you can see that it's sort of in this wedge, maybe you might call it. But yeah, price is on the downside because we're below the 200-day moving average. The 25-day has crossed the 200-day moving average, and things are just not looking good. All right, let's look at Palantir. So with Palantir, which actually looks more positive, it looks similar to the Netflix chart. Definitely, excuse me, we have the 200 and the 100-day still in positive direction along with the 25-day, and price is above the 100-day moving average. We'll have to continue to monitor this to see if it can recover or not once it gets closer to this 100-day moving average. But again, we're looking at a nice drop this morning as well, and overall we're expecting the market to continue to respond to the tariffs. So Tesla has definitely been on a downtrend. We did see some upward movement. We're calling this the big short, really, because there's lots of things at play regarding why this company is not doing well and having this major pullback right now. The main thing that we're watching now is to see if Tesla ends up getting below $200, this level down here. Again, that presents an opportunity for those who maybe are short shares or maybe looking at put options that move, from around probably like 290 all the way back down to 200. But if we want to see what happens at the 200 level, if we end up breaking below this 200 level, that could be a huge issue or problem for this stock, because we may see some acceleration of selling that may occur as people do not want to be left holding the bag on this. Otherwise, we have earnings coming up for Tesla, so all eyes will be on earnings. I believe that's at the end of April, so we'll have to continue to monitor this. But again, this is the big short move that we're anticipating. Unless they can come up with something new about the company, something new that they're going to do, or some changes or something, things are not looking good for Tesla. And those numbers that are expected to come out, we're not expecting those numbers to come out as good numbers when they report earnings. We're expecting those to be dismal earnings. So continue to monitor this and see how it goes. All right, so that's it for the market update. Again, we're having this reaction to all the news about tariffs and that sort of thing. So just continue to monitor the market, and expect that you're going to get some limit down situations like like Palantir. Even it looks like this is a 7% drop right here already. So I guess halts can happen based on increased volume as well as the price drop or increase, so we'll have to see what types of halts end up happening across the market. Of course, these are some of your top major companies we're talking about now, but you could imagine across the board that many smaller companies are going to have drops as well. So we'll continue to monitor the situation.